Hello, hello, friend. It's time for a high dollar what sold. It's been a couple of weeks and I keep moving up closer and closer how often I'm doing these videos, and there's still so many high dollar sales, which is absolutely amazing. We're still pushing to get to that $50,000 90-day total. I think we're close to 42,000. So I mean, we're inching, getting closer to it. These are all sales that have happened in the last 2 weeks. Some of them you might have seen on What Sold mixed in with bread and butter items, but this video is only going to be high dollar. So if you're really trying to concentrate on those higher dollar, higher profit items, this is the video for you. And I know a lot of you like seeing the lower, so I still do those as well, but this one is only high dollar. So high sales, over $50, great profits. I'm going to tell you where I bought them, how long I had them, and what they sold for. First up is a teacup, and this one was listed back in May. So it took about 3 months, which is not bad. Now, this one was only the teacup. I did not have the saucer. Do not let that stop you from listing them, because they will still sell, and some of them will still sell high. This one sold for $55 in 3 months. It is a Paragon pink lilac double warrant hand painted bone china teacup. Beautiful, beautiful teacup. You can see here, this pattern is definitely a popular one. So the double warrant, you can see the two stamps here. This is ones that were appointed by the Queen, and amazing, amazing sale. $55. I only paid about $5. So this one is close to a $44 profit. This one I know I showed you on another video because it was sitting in my car for 6 months. I cleaned my car out. I'm like, I forgot I got this at the flea market. Paid $10 for this at the flea market. It sold in like a day for $53. So it's about a $40 profit. Or no. Let me take that back. It's about a $35 profit. My math was off there for a minute. Beautiful cobalt blue, and it's about 13 inches tall. Very, very fast sale. And this one, again, was picked up at my local flea market. This one, I think, is the longest that took to sell on this video. This one was listed back in August of 2022. So it took 2 years. So you can see I did put a sale on. So I put about 2,000 things that were over a year old on sale, 50% off. And I'm willing to take 50% off. So I actually sent somebody an extra 10%. They accepted. It was $55 and 2 years to sell those. So this is not something I would pick up again. I honestly don't even remember what I paid for it. So we'll say it's all profit. It's been here long enough, and I don't even remember where I got it. Probably an online auction, I guess. You can see here it's a little shy of 7 inches tall, and a good $55 sale, but not something I would pick up again. My goal is definitely not to have things sitting here for 2 years. Next up was actually a really big sale, and I'm going to click through the 3 of them relatively fast for you. But somebody bought 3 of these St. John skirts from me. $60 a piece. She offered me $40. I countered back and said, these have been listed less than a month. My St. John pieces typically sell fast. I can do $60 and combine the shipping for you. So $60 a piece on these, $180 sale. I paid $20 each. So I'm going to tell you, for the sale, I was $60 in, and they are pretty close to $100 profit on the 3. So I'll show you the pictures here of this one. It is St. John. Do not confuse that with St. John's Bay. St. John is much higher designer than St. John's Bay. So here is this one, and then we're going to hop over and take a quick look at the other 2. They are the same. They are just different colors. Second one, this one was actually a size 8. So she bought size 6 and size 8. And this one is the not by Marie. So that first one was by Marie, but it is another St. John one. And then she also got one more color. Was the blue. And again, $60 each on these. This one was another Marie, and amazing, amazing profit. $100 on the 3 of those skirts. This is another one that was listed for about 2 years. So there were a couple of longer ones on here. This one I sent an offer out of half off of $62.99. I got a lot of these 1939 World Fair pens, and this was the only one still in its little original tube, but it took 2 years to sell. So I paid $25, so I'm still making a $30 profit. This is what it looked like when I originally bought it. So I bought this when I was shopping with Jocelyn, Crazy Lamp Lady, up in Pennsylvania at a flea market, and I paid $400 for all of them. But I think now we're down to only like 2 or 3 of them left. So most of them have sold. Here you can see this one has that 1939 World Fair, but they were all from that case, and we knew they were all from the same year. And yeah, so not a bad profit, but took a very, very long time to sell. On the other hand, sold in under a month. This is a Lemax Alfred Mansion Spooky Town lighted Halloween village. It was retired from 2002. You can see our front picture. We do show it lit up and working. And I am about $20 in on this. It sold for the $60. So it's about a $30 profit after fees, but sold very, very fast. So watch out for Lemax, especially their Halloween items. We have done very well with them. They are made in China, but people collect these. So definitely keep an eye out. This one was a very fast sale. And if you have Halloween stuff, now is definitely the time to get it up. These Danskos took a little longer to sell. They were listed in February, so they took about 6 months, but I only paid $3. They sold for full price of $64.99. They were well over a $50 profit, and I'm okay with 6 months and a $50 profit. I picked up like 10 of these at the store. Somebody must have bought a bunch of Danskos, never wore them. You can see they were not worn. And the rest of them, I think the majority of them have already sold. So that was being in the right place at the right time kind of thing. Most of that stuff will happen to you once ever, and you're never gonna, you know, run into, for me, 10 pairs of Danskos for $3 each, but amazing profit, a little bit longer at 6 months to sell. This cloisonne vase was listed just under a year. I did put it in that sale. You can see I put it in the 40% off sale because it was, next month will be a year that it had been listed. Somebody sent me a best offer of $70, and I just took it because I only paid like $5. So this is still like a $55 profit, but it took a year to sell. Cloisonne is one of my favorite things to pick up, but it longer tail. I do still look at it, still pick it up. I did get this one in an online auction, which is where I get most of my cloisonne from, but it's a good profit, and it is something I like that I will continue picking up, even though it is longer tail. So if you do pick up cloisonne, just know it might take a little bit longer to sell. All right, this is another longer one, but I will tell you that me running that 40% off offer, as well as me sending, I send out 50% off offers if people like these. This one sold for $75, so not only 25% off, but if you have things long, incentivize people to buy that, whether it is a sale like I did with the 40%, whether it is sending them offers when they are watching your items. Do something to incentivize them and get your older stuff out. So this one is over a $50 profit for me. It did take about a year and a half to sell though. Next up are some really cool green lucite grapes. These are like giant grapes. And these were not listed very long. These were listed back in June. I accepted a best offer of 75. I paid about 20 for these. So they're about a $45 profit. If you see these things, pick them up. These were cool. About half of them glowed. I picked up 3 in an online auction lot. Really, really cool and pretty fast sale on these. Next up is Pier 1 charger plates. You have seen these over and over and over because I got 80 of them. So this set of 4 sold for $69.99, and they were listed in October, but I have sold so many. I've made hundreds and hundreds of dollars on these things. So watch for Pier 1, watch for charger plates. I also want to point out, we'll scroll up a little here. I put this coupon code, but people aren't using it. So you can see here it says $62.99 with coupon code. This buyer bought it at $69.99. They did not use that code. So whether it's helping me get more views or more sales, I don't know, but I do know they bought it full price, $70 for the 4. And this I essentially have no cost in, is over a $60 profit. Is a super cool piece. I picked this up from George the Antique Nomad, and this one sold for full price of $71.49. I think I paid George $20 or $25 for this, so it's about a $35 to $40 profit. This one was listed back in December, so it did take about 8 months to sell. Caro Nan sells, so you can see here, look for that Caro Nan. It might take longer, but typically they are pretty good profits. And this one I think was missing. I think there was supposed to be an actual sand dollar there. I'm not sure, maybe not, because the other ones don't have paintings under them. So maybe this was how it was meant to be, but great sale. It just took a little bit longer to go. Some more of the grapes, $76.99 on these. And this one was the same buyer as the other one. And again, listed back in June, paid 20. So about a $40 to $45 profit. Same thing, about half the grapes glowed. So watch for these giant lucite grapes on driftwood. They are definitely great sellers. Next up is another Lemax Spooky Town. You can see this one sold for $89.99. I paid $20. So it is about a $55 profit after fees. And again, sold in under a month. So this one is Madame Ashberry's Halloween House of Wax. And you can see we show it lit up again, show it working. If you have electronic stuff and you can show that it is working, definitely do that. We really haven't utilized the video feature, but I think that would definitely help make more sales. It's just not something we have started doing yet, but great sale. Again, watch out for Lemax Halloween items. Fine for $10. This is a Farberware open hearth electric broiler, and is about a $32, $33 profit, but it sold fast in under a month. The buyer was very, very happy with it. These typically have rotisseries with them. This one did not. So if it had the rotisserie motor, it would have been worth about double. So watch out for these, especially if they have that rotisserie motor. I'm just clicking through those pictures. We just show all the individual pieces that come with it. The rotisserie motor mounts on the side here. If you find one with that, it is worth about $100. Next up is another long tail one that I took a low offer. I took $100 because I didn't pay much. It was here 2 years. This is Boys Learning the Torah by Saul Raskin. This is an Ivorine etching from the 1950s. Sold it for $100. It is a $75 profit for me, and it did take a long time to sell. Art is something else. I am okay getting it because a lot of times it will sell for that higher price, but I am okay lowering it after I've had it a year because I typically do not have much invested to them. So I am going to try to get that higher price, but if it hasn't sold in a year, I do become very negotiable on what I'll take because I don't typically pay much for them. Next up, I know I showed this in a regular what sold. I wanted to show it again. You might find these little Instax, the little mini retro instant cameras at the thrift store. They will sell. So this one, I accepted a best offer of $100 on it. I'm actually only a couple dollars in. This is well over an $80 profit, and it sold in 2 months. So pretty fast sale. The film was expired. I did note that in my title, and it's still sold. So keep your eye out for these at thrift stores as well as garage sales. Really, really cool tablecloth. I think this one was also one of the regular what sold. But again, watch for these things. This is an amazing embroidered tablecloth. It is big. It sold for a best offer I sent out of $97.99. So almost $100 for a tablecloth I paid like $5 or $10 for. So well over a $70 profit. Watch for tablecloths, especially when they have these amazing colors and details. They will sell, and they will sell high. This is a vintage Firefly picture light. This one I only paid $1. Sold in over 6 months, about 7 months, for $62.99, making it still over a $50 profit. These don't look like they're much, but they sell. Watch for those old brass lights. You can tell it's a vintage by the cord there. And amazing sale, but again, took a little bit longer to sell. So one of the big things with a lot of these, for me to higher profit, I have the storage space. We have about 5,000 square foot. I'll actually pop up my last shed video, which it's been a long time. So maybe we'll do an updated storage video for you guys coming up here soon. But keep an eye out for these. And just know, though, you are probably going to have to wait a little while for them to sell. Next up is an amazing, amazing fetish necklace. So this is a 30-inch Zuni fetish necklace. The main animal was fox. This one was listed in May, so it did not take very long to sell. Only about 3 months, a little under that, for $115. Now I did pay up. I paid $30 for this in an online auction, but it's still over a $60 profit. So watch for fetish necklaces. This one is a beautiful, beautiful one. You can see the Thunderbird there is kind of the center pendant, and the rest of these are all little foxes. Super, super cute. Tons of different gemstones in this one. And amazing, amazing sale and profit. Next up is a Baccarat Sphinx. This one sold for $125, and it actually hasn't been listed long, but I checked the comps when I got the offer. If I get a high offer, I'm going to double check myself on pricing, because I only am in about 20 bucks. So this is about an $80 profit. It was listed back in May, and I am happy with the sale. It had effects and beautiful piece. There is that Baccarat stamp on the bottom. So if you did find this without the box, you would be able to identify it. The box typically will add value to it, though. So just keep that in mind if you're listing something with a box. Next, I showed these in a regular video too, but these are little new Nike Airs I bought for my grandson, who actually turned 1 2 days ago. I'll pop a picture up. We just went to his birthday party yesterday, and we brought Cam with us, the little girl from the family we've been helping, and we had a fun time at Dave & Buster's. So there is a photo of that for you guys to see. I bought these shoes for Atlas, but his little chunky feet wouldn't fit in them. So I paid $20 for them at the thrift store. They sold for $70 really fast in a week, and they're about a $35 to $40 profit. So if you see baby Nikes new with the box, pay attention, because they will sell. These are size 2. These are teeny tiny little baby shoes. Very, very good sale. Up next, a vintage 1929 Phi Sigma Kappa 14 karat gold pen. This is another one that took a long time to sell. This one took 2 years as well, but it sold for $139.65 in an offer I sent out. I originally was not much. This is well over $100 profit. And again, with those high profits, I'm okay with them sitting there. So watch for these. And this one was not marked 14 karat. This one I did have to test. Up next is a Lenox Tweety Bird little garden bowl, 6-inch trinket dish. And this one is another one that sold very, very fast. But make sure you check because some of these take longer. So this one sold for $108.49 and it sold in a little under 2 months. And it was new in the box. And you can see we did have the certificate of authenticity. I got this from an online auction. I paid about $20. So it is still over a $70 profit and it's really fast. I told you guys I sold it because I like my Jaden's little pink printer so much better. Sold full price in under a week. Think about stuff, and I said this the last time, but think about stuff you're not using that you can sell. And if you need another one, somebody said, as soon as I sell it, I'll need it. If you need another one, you can always buy one, but get that money in your pocket, buy some new inventory, and get some sales. And if you see Dymos out in the wild, the bigger ones like this that print labels typically sell better, but the smaller ones also will sell. This one, we are up to our top 5 selling. This one took a long time and I didn't mind. This was displayed on my desk. It was here a very long time. I found this with George the Antique Nomad. I paid $50 for it at a flea market. I accepted a best offer of $200. So it is about $120 profit after fees, but I am okay with that. And I'm sad it left because I really, really love Kachinas, and this was a beautiful painting. Here you can see the R yellow hair. So it was a known artist. I was able to research that, and great sale, a lot less than I originally wanted, but it is still a very, very good profit. Up next is the xTool that I bought that my husband never used. This is the xTool RA2, sold for full price in under a week, $214.99. So in case you see xTool stuff, that is a laser cutter engraver. This was an attachment to do cups or circular things, and amazing fast sale. This one was brand new, never used, and had been sitting around my house forever. Next up was another long tail sale, but again, high profit. This one sold for $200 and I got it super cheap. It's over $150 profit. It was listed a year and a half. So again, for me, a lot of my higher profit items take longer to sell. So keep that in mind and think of your storage space when you're buying things like this. But great, great profit, and sat here a while, but still really, really good profit. Was this Danish mid-century modern tile antique table. This one sold very, very fast. It sold in 2.5 months, which for furniture for me is very, very good. It sold for $188.99. I think I was only $25 in, so it's over $100 profit. I was able to identify it using Google Lens and look it up when I bought it. Somebody did ask what the shipping was, and it cost us $55 to ship this out in a box via UPS. Last up is this gorgeous antique amber necklace. This one was listed back in March, so not very long to sell. And this one sold for full price, $259. I paid about $30. So this one's actually about $175 profit after fees. So here you can see the marking on the back. This one was $875. We did show the weight and a sale, and very, very fast. All right, friend, that was everything for the high dollar sales. I hope you have enjoyed. Hope you learned some new things. Again, keep in mind a lot of higher dollar sales take longer to sell. So I just caution you, like with the jewelry and stuff, it's not going to take up a lot of space, but things like that table, which it sold fast in this video, but furniture and things like that that are typically higher dollar profits will take longer to sell. That key box was pretty big, and you have to have the space to store those. So keep that in mind. And this was a really good mix of online auction, thrift store finds, and there are so many ways to source. So Do it depending on your area. If you're lucky and live in a good area, you might be able to do all thrift store. I unfortunately do not, so I do have to do a lot of online sourcing. I really, really appreciate you watching, and I will see you on the next one.